I just started recording. I will go and set this to auto record right now while we get started with the demos.
Cool. I'm first, so I guess I'll kick it off. So I'm demoing the embedding metrics in GitLab flavored Markdown. Let me just share my screen. Cool. You should be able to see that. So this feature is basically, I'll bring up the issue. So the idea look at metrics and issues. This is going to be useful for incident management, so that people who are dealing with incidents are going to see the like metrics right off the bat, especially for auto-created issues. I think I'm not sure if that's the plan, but it probably makes sense for auto-created issues to include these metric charts at some point. Yeah, so all you have to do to get the metrics charts to show up is to have a link to a valid metrics dashboard. Yeah, so this will take a moment to load, but yeah, basically you take this dashboard link, paste it into an issue, and you see the charts. They take a wee while to load. So here I'll preview, which will refetch the charts. And the other nice thing is that they're live and interactable. So you can adjust the time span if you like. You can hover over it. Yeah, so that's it. Oh, and probably goes without saying, but if you put in like an invalid link, it goes nowhere. It just does nothing. Yeah. Oh, another thing. This is for all GitLab flavored Markdown. That's in GitLab itself. So I believe it doesn't do it for GitLab flavored Markdown in places like the docs and stuff like that. But inside GitLab, the GitLab instance, inside issues, merge requests, comments, things like that, you can get these charts to show up.
Does it work inside snippets?
I haven't tried that. That's a good question.
Is that a markdown field? Or...
Yeah, snippets description. Snippets description is in Markdown, similar as issues, but I'm not sure if the underlying is the same.
Oh, yeah, we should probably check that.
That looks great, Tristan.
Thanks. Don't just thank me as well. Sarah Yasonic did a lot of work on this as well. So yeah, it was a team effort.
Thank you, guys. And Sarah, I think that you mentioned that this was enabled for all Markdown fields.
Yeah,
at some point,
yeah,
somewhere.
it should be. So like it works in like the wiki. Just snippets off the top of my head. I don't know. I think it should.
Cool, Tristan and Sarah, that looks fantastic. Great MVC.
Then I think I'm actually next. Unless someone changed the doc, I didn't open it back up. But I'm gonna be.
You're up next.
Yeah. Okay. I will share my screen. Oh, I opened something. I don't know. What did I open? Okay, here's fine. I am showing the new field we added to, well, not added, I guess. We now are expecting on self-managed Prometheus instances when alerts are triggered. There's this field, GitLab incident markdown, that if a user adds to their alert configuration, we'll expect it and put it in the incident we create automatically. So yeah, so now we can actually support like quick actions. So I'm going to use this amazing tool that Peter set up to kick off just like alerts every 5 seconds. So that's going, yay. And now if we come over to the project that I have, like this self-managed Prometheus instance set up in, I should get an issue here any second. Oh, I got a bunch of issues. I should kill that before I get more. But here we can see this is the like template description I added, and there's a due date, and I assigned myself. So, woohoo! It works. Any questions?
Can you make it paste the metrics dashboard?
Yeah, I can, but this particular project doesn't have metrics set up, so it won't work.
Sarah, could you add me to that project? I need to film a demo of incident management features to date next week, so I'll get this project set up with metrics.
I will create one. This is actually on my local instance. I didn't do it on
Okay.
but yeah, I can set something up.
This is awesome, guys. This is really cool because this is part of the work to allow people to completely customize and configure incidents, and then give them tools to be able to change this stuff for continuous improvement. So this is phenomenal. And yes, +1 to the idea of combining, having metrics show up automatically. Thanks, Tristan.
I have a quick question. So this is that issue basically under normal circumstances without the amazing tool would get, those issues would be created on an alert or when something exceeds one of our thresholds that we create on the metrics dashboard. Am I understanding that rightly?
Yeah, when an alert is triggered. That's
out of curiosity, do we have a way to like manually fire that or no? This is kind of off topic, but
if you
manually trigger an alert,
manually trigger this issue creation and then like capture graphs. Like I'm wondering if if somebody, like maybe we don't have an alert set up, right? But somebody's watching or looks at the dashboard and notices, oh, these service levels are crazy. I want to snapshot this and make it an issue. It seems like this is a lot of really good and easy automation that they could just use a / command to say, okay, capture this moment and turn it into an issue. Even if they don't necessarily have an alert set up to fire off of that. I'm not sure if that would add value. It just seems like it'd be something that would be potentially nice to have. And I'm kind of asking for selfish reasons because of some stuff that I was looking at yesterday as far as like setting up potentially some incident management stuff instead of the like on-call process that was proposed. So I was just curious.
I could see that being useful. Just also, maybe this is what you were saying, maybe not, but like just from a chart, like one of the options that you could have in a chart is like create an issue with this thing. If you see something odd.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was wondering.
I was also wondering if there's a way to snapshot the charts if you pull them into an incident so that you can snapshot it at a particular time, because I guess that those charts are going to be live. If I go back and look at it in 6 months, it will be 6 months from now, because handling issues and doing incident Commander stuff, my previous gig, it was like there's so many snapshots of charts, you know, in an incident thread. That it's great to be able to go back and say, you know, 10 minutes ago it was like this, you know, now it's like this. So it sure would be nice to be able to say, take a snapshot of now and let it live forever in the incident.
I think the issue to add, or to specify the time frame of the chart is in the current milestone. I think Simon's working on it.
But that will only be for as long as we retain data for that dashboard, which I think is 7 days.
I think it's 2 weeks.
Okay. Some 1, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. But David, yes. Thank you for that feedback. And I'll get some more time with you to chat about your time as an incident commander.
Whoever came up with that feature of throwing the charts into the incident was genius. You're a genius, Gump.
And Adriel, I would love to chat with you a bit more about manual incident creation that leverages all the functionality that we have here. So the ability to say, create an incident at this point in time and have all of the automated summary come in, embed charts if that's part of the template, and so on. Awesome. Guys, this is phenomenal. This is so exciting. It's like the best Friday. Best way to start my Friday. Thank you so much, Sarah. And Reuben. I think Reuben's next.
Okay, so I'll share my screen. Okay, so while creating the self-monitoring project, we need to connect that project to the internal Prometheus instance that is installed by Omnibus. So that happens here in the manual configuration. But we have a setting which prevents any service from connecting to a local network. So that's in the admin panel, admin settings network. So this setting allow requests to the local network from hooks and services. I think it's by default it's disabled, so local requests are not allowed, which means that if we try to save the internal Prometheus URL here, it would fail. So there was an issue to create a whitelist so that it doesn't have to be all or nothing setting. So I completed that whitelist, and this is how it works. So I don't actually have a Prometheus instance, but we'll just put a URL. So you get an error, request to localhost are not allowed. So let's try whitelisting that. Okay, so now it should work. Yeah. So you can whitelist domains, you can whitelist IPs, and you can whitelist IP ranges. So for example, if we whitelist this range, and then I save this, it should work. Okay. I'm not sure why that failed, but it worked now. So you can't yet whitelist domain wildcards. So you can't whitelist like star.gitlab.com, but we can add that later. So yeah, that's it from me. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got one. Can you whitelist only ports or port ranges? And
No, you can't.
would it make sense to do so? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's actually a question I had on the MR, whether it will be useful to whitelist ports. I think in certain situations it might be, like for example with Prometheus, but I didn't implement that. So that's domain wildcards and ports. It can be enhanced in those two, with those two features.
Cool, thanks.
Reuben, I wonder, for the benefit of maybe everybody on the call, or maybe everybody already knows this, but can you explain what problem this is solving?
So we have a task to create a self-monitoring project for all clients, for all instances of GitLab. So we want that self-monitoring project to be connected to the internal Prometheus that is installed by Omnibus. And then eventually we can, have the internal Prometheus send alerts to GitLab for that project, and issues will be created for those alerts and stuff like that. So to set this, to set the internal Prometheus URL here, it's going to be a local URL, and this setting is disabled by default, which means that almost all clients will have it disabled, and which also means that creating that the connection between the self-monitoring project and the internal Prometheus will fail. So that's why we needed a whitelist rather than allowing all local requests. We can allow only the Prometheus server.
Cool, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I guess we can. Anyone else? No. If we don't have any more questions, we can probably end the call.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. This was a phenomenal demo hour. Really cool to see the progress that we're making. And happy Friday to those for whom it is evening. Enjoy your weekends. I will post this link in the demo doc. I think we have a bunch of people who are not able to come who are excited about it. Awesome. Take care.
Bye.